Yeah. So what are we talking about today? What are we talking about today? I think I have a very interesting topic in my head, and I've noticed a lot of people struggle with it because I once did struggle with it. And what is this topic? How do I better know myself? How do I know myself? How do I know my potentials? How do I know what I like? When we know all these questions, we'll glow. When we can answer all the questions, we'll become our true self. So now what's the problem? You'll be surprised that that's such a problem. Identity, it's such a big problem. Now, think about this. Growing up, nobody believed in you. And if people did believe in you, did you even believe in yourself? Growing up, we saw a lot of cool things, very interesting things, right? Yeah, a lot of cool things. We wanted to become this, we wanted to become that, I wanted to become an artist, I wanted to become a poet, I wanted to become an actress, I wanted to become a musician, oh, I wanted to become, oh, the pageant, I wanted to become a model. Who am I today? I know a lot of people did think, because most of the things we want to become comes out of the social media. It comes out of the TV. We watch TV. Oh, that artist is so cool. And all of a sudden, we just want to become that thing. But is that who we truly are destined to be? It took me a while. It took me a while to know who I really truly wanted to be. Growing up, I was such a happy kid jumping here and there. But because I was young and I was not the oldest in my family, there was a lot of pressure because somebody had an idea of who you should truly be. So I don't blame my brothers and sisters. They were just caring for me. But when they cared for me, did they allow me to grow into who I truly wanted to be? And so that's where the question becomes tough. Because your brothers may like you and they see you do something really silly, they'll be like, stop doing that. And society has just shaped us in such a way that everything you do is considered to be childish. So sometimes when we grow up, what happens? We tend to shed away all this little stuff in us and we finally grow up to become what else everybody else is. Sometimes who you want to become can sound boring. But the fun fact is, stick to your true self. I wanted to become everything just like everybody else. Until this true moment where I got stuck in my head. I didn't know what to do. I was so restless. I was just like my energy was just upside down. And I just asked myself, like, who did you want to be? You keep putting all blames on people, oh, this and that. Who do you truly want it to be? Then guess what? I just identified that. Despite the fact that I felt so much pressure on me, I still never took my time to ask myself, who do I be? Who do I truly want to be? So how do you know who you truly want to be? Know your strength. And in knowing your strength, you definitely have to hide your weaknesses. What do I like to do? I'm a natural talker. I love talking. But what do I even love to talk about? That's where the question becomes. So when I started developing in myself, I just started seeing. And this happened in a short period of time. And that was so cool. It was the most beautiful time of my life. You know, I had no roommate. I was staying by myself. I was just stuck in my head. It was just me. Every time I'm just thinking about me. And at the point I started thinking, why am I so selfish? Why am I just thinking about me? Then I knew that was the moment of identity. I wanted to know who I truly wanted to be. I wanted to know what I truly loved. And the day I knew who I truly loved, oh my God, I blew. It was so beautiful. First thing that happened is I started respecting myself the more. I started carrying myself with so much self-esteem. When you try to know who you are and you finally find it, you need to love yourself. You need to stop doing what is cool and you need to start doing what is right. Because most of the time you just want to do things that will make people just say, oh, that's such a cool kid. Oh, he's doing what you just want to follow the trend. And that can lead you to shed away your true potential. Who am I? I'm just a regular guy. Some people can say boring person, but that's so cool with me though. Because what I talk about is who I want to be. And then I start seeing myself as that guy, like that beautiful, handsome black man. And I just started seeing myself. I started loving myself. And that was so beautiful. You need to find your true home. And during my undergraduate, it was so funny because like I was studying something, I loved it, but I don't know how to apply it, So after my graduation, then I started seeing because sometimes when you're in college, it's a learning process, it's a learning stage, and at the same time, sometimes it might not be as real as you want it to be. But when you're done with college, when you start looking for a job, when you start seeing the reality of life, your mentality change. And after 1 year of me being done with my undergraduate and everything I've been through during this period of time, I just came out at the other end. Oh, I want to do my master's. That was very interesting because I would never think about doing a master's. You understand? So what I'm trying to say is the true calling, you start seeing yourself. All of a sudden I start respecting myself. I started studying. All of a sudden I want to be among the best people ever. I start studying. Duties that I would give somebody else to do for me. All of a sudden now I want to be such that guy. I want to be responsible. You understand? You need to find that beautiful side of you. Another side you shouldn't forget. What are your pains? Because sometimes we don't find the glowing side of us when we are such in pain. Sometimes you can be in pain and not even know you're in pain, and you're just starving your soul. You're just having some grudges deep inside you, and you don't even know how to control it. Anybody step on your foot, you just going nuts. You need to make peace with yourself. And how do I make peace with myself? I forgave people before they said to me. No. Did they even say it to me? No. Nobody said they were sorry, but I forgave them. That's strength. That's when you start becoming the true self you wanted to be. Nobody had said, I'm sorry, Williams, I don't mean to do that to you. But I just thought about it. I was like, you know what? It takes so much space. It's just like a memory card. It takes so much space to like save stuff you don't want into it. Because eventually your memory is going to be full. And you still have to go back to deleting what you don't want. So why do you even fill your heart with such grudges that you don't even need? Instead of that, feel in your heart joy, positivity, progress. So I started doing that. I started forgiving people. So all of a sudden I started smiling to people I would never smile to. And they were I'm pretty sure they were wondering in their head like, what is wrong with this kid? He's never been this happy. But guess what? I've grown beyond that. You can be older than me. But when it comes to understanding about things of life, I've gone in the other side. So you need to accept yourself. You need to start forgiving yourself. The people that spoke wrongly to you, the people that acted wrongly to you, you need to just free that memory space. Let it go. Fill it with joy. Fill it with positivity. Grow into who you really want to be. Become the true version of you. Stop sticking to the past. It's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to move from now to the next stage. You understand? So we need to grow in that space. And another very important thing is, what are my passions? What am I so passionate about? Oh my God, I love to make so much peace. How do I use my education in such a way that my passion is still going to show in my education? You can be a medical doctor, and in the same medical field, you can be whatever you want to be in the same field. At the same time, you can be whoever you want to be in your field. So there's a lot to be done. So I found myself, I'm like, okay, I studied community planning. How do I even, and I'm somebody that loves to share joy. I'm somebody that loves to share energy. I'm that person that always want to share, motivate the people around me. Community planning is literally bringing the community together, unifying the community together, break every boundaries of community and make community one. The only thing that can make your community grow is when the community is unified, right? So what do? I use my energy, my positive. You look at the people, you look at the minority, you look at the white, you look at the black, you look at the Hispanic, you look at everybody, you bring them together, you organize events, social events, you bring people together, you share energy. Oh guy, hey, what's up? Good morning, talk to people, bring people together. So this is how I grew in my own potential. I love talking, right? And I have positive energy. When you mix it together, it becomes something positive. You understand? Grow into becoming yourself. And my last thing, never apologize for who you are. Because when you eventually grow into yourself, don't apologize. I tell people, I'm such a boring guy, but I'm never sorry for that. Because all I want to talk is about things that are progressive. I don't want to talk about things that are not valuable to me. You understand? When you bring something that is not valuable to me, I definitely will not disrespect you. But I'm not going to show so much interest into it. So you understand, when you don't show so much interest in something, it doesn't make anybody feel some type of way. It's just body language that tells somebody that, oh, he's not interested in what I'm doing right now. Okay, it's fine. You understand? So in this life, we'll all have a different bubble. Try to be in the right bubble. You have to be in the right fit. Because if you're in the wrong fit, they are not going to encourage you. And when they don't encourage you, you're not going to grow into your real potential. And nobody should be blamed for that. You understand? You want to be, let me use this very funny example. When I was a kid, my mom told me, she said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be an astronaut. And I have my best friend that wanted to be a soccer player. And my mom would tell me, what do you and your friend talk about every day? And I go oh. And I'm like, we just talk about life. She said, do you guys talk about anything about astronomy? And I'm like, and she said, does he teach you about soccer? And I'm like, so she said, so what you two are both passionate about, you don't talk about it. Why? Because we don't have the same passion. If I tell him about my passion, it's not going to be that. You understand? The energy is not going to be there. If he tells me about his passion, the energy is not going to be there. And when my mom told me that as a kid, fun fact, right? I didn't consider that until several years when I grew to understand what my mom was saying. Then I'm like, oh, you understand? You need to find the people. You need to find a community. We all have to find a community. Basketball player community move together. Artists move together. Movie producers move together. You have to grow. You have to move with the people that have the same ambition like you. And I promise you, you're gonna blow. You're gonna blow in becoming your real self. Thank you for spending time with me, guys.